Greetings. Long time no see. I really wasn't expecting to do another video so soon. I put up 2 yesterday. But last night, before going to bed, I was watching a video that Annie had put up from Mirth and Reverence on the subject of online relationships, which I really wanted to do a video response to that. She asked for responses, and so I'd love to give her one because it's a subject that means a lot to me. I've been on Facebook I've been on YouTube for about, I don't know, 3 years or 4 years, I'm not sure. 3 or 4 years. And I came to it rather slowly. I came to it rather hesitantly. Even watching videos made me a little bit nervous. I was a little nervous. It felt like an intrusion into my privacy. You know, I'm someone, when I first got into computers and I saw there was online games that you could play, I got all excited and I started to play some games, and all of a sudden people started talking to me like in the side. People that I didn't know, random people, would try to have a conversation with me, and I would immediately turn off the computer and walk away. It scared me. It felt like an invasion of my privacy, which is absurd, I think. Probably most of you would probably think that absurd, but to me it was a real fear. So when I began watching, I told you the story in the very early days. I think maybe my first video, my second video, told the story of, oh, excuse me, I have to stop a minute because I don't know if you can hear it. It is raining. Oh my God, it's glorious. It's raining. It's you know, in California we really don't get much rain, and we haven't had rain in months and months and months, and oh, it's the most glorious thing. I'm sitting here with my tea, really getting into the rain. It was my little golden retriever puppy's first experience with rain this morning, which he was not sure. I'm not sure, but of course the mud was really fun. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to get off track there, but just gives me the chills. I'm so excited. Oh, okay, where was I? In the first video or two, one of the first two, I told the story of how I found Jackie, the moon mother, in San Clemente here, and she had found out that she had originally lived on my very street, and so I had that familiar. She was a real person to me. Why am I stuttering? I don't know. She was a real person to me, so that was my invitation, really, that it was okay. That was my indication that it was okay for me that these were real people, not scary people on YouTube. Which sounds so stupid, but that's what I felt. Anyway, so I started watching other people's videos, and I watched a good while before I made my own video. And only after I felt like I had made some online relationships. That's the only reason I got up the courage to make my own videos. I'm a private person. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of really acquaintances. You know, I have over 500 friends on Facebook. Most of those, I will say, the majority at least, are SCA friends from my medieval hobby group. So they're people that I know. I've seen them over the years and can talk to them, can have lunch with them. I really do know them, but they don't hang out with me, you know, out of the SCA. They're not. We don't go to the mall together or the movies or those kind of things. So they're really not. They don't know my secrets, and they don't know my joys and sadnesses and things like that. It's just it's a casual relationship. Okay. So anyway, when I came onto YouTube, I found some friends. I found friends that, even though I didn't know them, I knew a lot about them, because many of them opened their hearts, I believe, and told me things that I could relate to. I remember when I first when I first saw Anni and started watching Anni and Mirth and Reverence videos, I thought, oh, we have so much in common. I think we have so much in common, you know. We're just about the same age, and there just seems so many familiar things about her. She was very East Coast familiar, as was Jude. You know, I want to say Jude too. Very, because I was from the East Coast, grew up there, and that's a different kind of a, let's be honest, a different kind of a person than you might find here on the West Coast. A little bit, you know, I mean, there's a lot of similarities. We're not that odd out here, but, you know, just a different kind of grounding. They're grounded in a different way, I think, in the East Coast. So when I met these people through YouTube, I felt it really resonated with me. I felt these were people that, oh, they're opening up their hearts. They felt like they were opening up their hearts, their feelings, their lives. I knew some details of their lives. I saw their house. I saw when Anni moved in her new house, her new surroundings, and when she put her porch on her little house, and I could just picture it. You know, I had been to Rehoboth, you know, when I was a young girl, and I could really picture what it was like, you know, to be on her little street there, and it became real. And with Jude, you know, she'd been in the theater, I had been involved in theater, you know, there was just so many things that I could resonate with outside of what they were talking about. So that felt really good to me. It felt really good to me. And then I found people that I never in a million years would have had a conversation with, let alone begin to feel like they were my friends. People that were 1/3 my age, people that were, you know, just, you know, the word wackadoo comes to mind. It's not my word, but I think if some of my other friends saw them, they might think they're a bit of a wackadoo. Those people were delights to me. They're so refreshing. And then there's some of the younger people, you know, I look at people like Annika and she has such a beautiful soul and a beautiful heart. She's so much younger than me. She wouldn't probably come over and say hello to me in a coffee house. I mean, I don't think she would. You know, we don't have anything in common, I mean, that way, that she wouldn't even recognize a common thing we have. But I just feel that I get so much from listening to her and listening to what she shares. And, you know, there's so many others. I could go on and on. But what I'm trying to say is, I understand what this viewer of Anni's was coming from when she was asking about these online relationships, because I'm not talking about a relationship like I'm trying to, you know, all my other relationships I found the old-fashioned way, you know, my own romance, my own husband, old-fashioned way. You know, we grew up together. We grew up and were children together and teenagers together and got married and whatever. And my other friends, you know, are friends from school or friends from the neighbor or whatever reason my other friends were. Now the SCA, of course. But the online relationships to me are so different. And they're different in a way that they can only be. And the other ones cannot be that way. And what I want to say is this, you know, especially when you have them on YouTube, okay? The relationships on YouTube, I'm specifically speaking of. Excuse me. My mouth isn't awake yet. I'm specifically speaking about the friends I make on YouTube through the videos, sharing of the videos, because those are people that any time of the day or night I can tune into. Right? I can tune into when I'm feeling a little depressed or taking myself too seriously. I have watched one of Cheryl Coyote's videos. She's like an absolute joy. She's just a gem. She's so cute. She's such a free spirit. She always makes me laugh in some way or another. You know, I can tune in and watch her. When I need grounding, I can tune into Anni. When I need, you know, and it's like I have a best friend in a box, which is kind of what it is. Maybe it's not real. Maybe I'll say that's really not a friendship. Well, to me, right then, it is very real because it satisfies the need that I have. Okay? It satisfies the need that I have. I grew up when I mentioned I grew up in the East Coast, this is kind of funny. You know, I brought my tea in with me, and usually at this time of the day, I'm past hot tea, I'm on to iced tea. I'm a creature of habit, I will admit. Hot tea, iced tea, red wine, back to hot tea, and bed. Rinse and repeat the next day. So I would be on to iced tea at this point, but because it's like a little rainy and it's a little chilly here today, I'm really enjoying the moment because I believe in the next couple of days it's going to be 100 degrees. It's going to be hot again. So, but anyway, funny that I have the tea in front of me here today because what I want to say is, in the East Coast, when I lived back in Pennsylvania, at least where I lived, it was very common to have people just drop in at your house any time of the day. Anytime they were in the neighborhood or walking past or whatever, they would stop in and they'd have a cup of coffee. You'd sit in the kitchen table or you'd sit on the porch and you'd have a cup of coffee. And you'd just shoot the breeze for a little while and then they'd go on their way. And people would stop in all the time, or I would be able to be free to stop in and talk to people, right? When I was out and about and I walked past somebody's house, I could stop, have a cup of coffee, and then go on to the store wherever I was going. That's just the way we communicated with each other. When I moved to California, I was very lonely. I didn't have any friends here. I didn't have any family here. I was here, a young mother with children, and my husband gone all day, and I didn't have a car, and I didn't have any way to go anywhere, so I put the kids in the stroller and set off and walked around the neighborhood. We live in a very full neighborhood of houses everywhere, trying to find somebody to talk to me. And I'd stop at a couple houses and introduce myself, and people would just open the door suspiciously, look at me and go, hello. And then they, you know, I was sort of expecting them to say, well, come in and have a cup of coffee. But no, they didn't do that. They pretty much slammed the door in my face. Not really, but you know, they weren't interested. They were suspicious. Who are you? Why do you want in my house or whatever? I never made any friends like that. So I really miss that, having that kind of a relationship. If I want to have somebody to talk to, I can always get put on a coat party on a Saturday afternoon and go to the park and play with my my medieval friends. But if I want that experience of just sitting and having a conversation, I found YouTube to be the best place to find it. I was terrifically saddened when we talk about the disappointments, and I don't want to put guilt on anybody. That's not what I'm about. I really don't want to do that. But I think it's a point that has to be made. When people leave, it leaves a hole. When people leave, it leaves a hole. And I know a lot of people have left. A lot of people that I watched regularly have left. Judah's gone. Anni was gone for a while. Brenda was gone. You know, a lot of people, for whatever reasons, they all had really good reasons for leaving. Legitimate reasons, I'm sure. But as a result, we kind of lose touch. Yeah, we can keep in touch on Facebook, but let's be fair. On Facebook, how many friends do you have on Facebook? How many, you know, I'm on some groups. I belong to some groups on Facebook, but I have trouble going. I find myself, you know, every once in a while my eye goes over to the side where it lists my groups and things, and I'll see, like, beside YouTube Pagans, I'll see like a 7. I'm like, oh, 7, there's 7 people I haven't even read, and I go back to the YouTube Pagan page, and I'm trying to read stuff frantically, and I see all these people have posted videos, and all these people have comments, and I don't have the time, and by the time, if it's on your personal feed, by the time I get on and be able to read it, it's past. Like, I have lost touch with so many people. It's very hard to keep in touch with because I have to go searching them out. I have to go searching them out on Facebook to see if they put any updates. I was horrified just the other day. What did I find out? Oh, I found out that a friend of mine had broken her leg. She broke her leg like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't know about it until like yesterday or the day before. She lives like 2 blocks from me, but I didn't know about it because I had been away, and by the time I came back, the announcement of her having broken her leg was way down somewhere in the feed, and I completely missed it. So it's not so easy to keep track that way. But YouTube, I can always go and find you. I can find you. As far as people being my friend on my follower on YouTube, I know it's different because I know for somebody who has 10,000 subscribers, it means something a lot different than to somebody like me who only has several hundred. I don't know, 600 subscribers. It's a different kind of a thing, It's the people that are listening to me, maybe it's a more intimate circle, I'm not sure. Or random, maybe it's just random people that are finding me, subscribing to me, and then going on. I'm not even sure. It's hard for me even to know who my subscribers are, But in somebody, I know if I'm one of 10,000 subscribers on your channel, I don't know how important I am to you. So I don't know if that feeling of friendship is mutual or not. Probably not. So it might just well be in my head. But just because it's in my head, this relationship that we have doesn't make it any less real. I try not to be a stalker. I try not to be, I don't try not to like everything you say or every video you make, comment on every video, or because sometimes people think that's a little creepy. But just know, I want you to know that if I'm listening to you, if I listen to you, and you can, we've had contact, if we've had any contact, particularly if we've had contact outside of YouTube, if we're friends on Facebook or whatever, I'm loyal. I take that very seriously. That's a loyalty. I take that as serious as a loyalty I would have to another friend. It might be a little different, but I still try to remain loyal. So, anyway, I didn't mean to be long-winded about this. That's my problem, that since I don't have people to sit and have my tea with, other than my husband, who's very busy right now, I depend on you to give me a chance to talk, right? To give me a chance to share my feelings, to give me a chance to share what I'm doing or what I'm making or what I'm thinking about doing or making, or what my altar might look like, or those kind of things. So it means a lot to me that you're watching, as much as it means to me that I can watch you. So I hope if you have comments that you can respond to this video if you have any comments. If not, thank you for watching anyway. Thank you as always for coming to my channel. And Annie, thank you very much for posting your video. It gave me a lot to think about. As always, I'm Rebecca, and I wish you blessings.